one of these shooting games was, it was like Viper 2 or one of these games that I played at the arcade on the cruise ship when I was like 15. I spent like a whole day, I spent like 8 hours playing it, putting in endless coins. Let's play Knight F3 here, do something a little bit different. And then I got the high score in the game and I got a nice t-shirt. So yeah, I've had fun playing games, arcade type games, for many years. Okay, now I'm gonna go E4. I changed the order, but let's play D4 here. Do I still have the shirt? Probably I do have the shirt in New York. They on the cruise ship they had an arcade section, so like my brother and I went and played it, and I think we got the high score. I think we both did it, and yeah, we got like we got like a t-shirt just from the cruise, so it was nice. That made it all worth it. Let's play knight c3 and take. Yeah, goes bishop g4. So if I take this, almost like the opera game from all those years ago when Paul Morphy was in France with takes, but I put the knight on c3, so the classic bishop c4 queen b3 idea no longer works. Nonetheless, I should take the pawn anyway. Yeah, like I don't know what do you call this type of games? I know that nowadays they're completely irrelevant, but when I was young, the two type of games that I liked a lot were like the Mario platform type games and like shooting type games. I don't know, what do you call them? It's where you're shooting and you're getting shot at. Like is that arcade style? I don't know, but anyway, is that arcade? Is that arcade style? It's like arcade style, I guess. Let me see if I can find it. Like I liked a lot of those type of games. I don't know what you call them, but anyway, okay, what happened? We get bishop b4. That's called a first person. It's called it's like retro FPS then, because modern day FPS is completely different. Anyway, okay, let's take the bishop here. Let's talk about chess. I'm gonna play f3 and bishop d2. Did I play Paul Morphy when I was younger? No, but actually one thing I'll show you guys while we're in this game is there's this thing called the Paul Morphy number. I'll pull it up very briefly because it's a 5-0 game and I have time to burn. But there's this thing called the Paul Morphy number, okay, which is, it's called, the people who played a game with Morphy have a Morphy number of 1. Now I am one of the very few people, I think, who on the Morphy list, I have a Morphy number. I think my Morphy number I have a Morphy number 4, which is actually pretty good that I have a number 4, because there are not a lot of people, I think, who have that. Let me check. The number 3 is yeah, so like I have a Morphy number 4 because I played people who were number 3, and there are not many of these people, in fact, are any of these people even alive who have a Morphy number 3. I'm just looking at this Paul Morphy number. I don't think there are any Morphy number 3s who are, maybe there's like one who's still alive. There are very few. Maybe I think Stuart Rubin. Yeah, so Stuart Rubin is someone I've played and he's still alive, but there are very few people. I played both Stuart Rubin here, and I also played Arthur Biscayr. I played both Arthur Biscayr and Stuart Rubin. My brother actually played someone on this list too. He played Arnold Denker in the US Open, I think in 1997 or 96. So both my brother and I actually have a Morphy number 4. So it's like, yeah, it's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Exactly same thing. So yeah, I just want to point that out. The people who have Morphy number 2 are all dead, I think. But number 3, I think Stuart Rubin might be the only living one on this list. There might be 1 or 2 other living, but very few living people who have a Morphy number 3. So I'm one of the few people who has a Morphy number 4. Let me change the scene, of course, and away we go. All right, let's go bishop d2 and guard the knight and play f3. Yeah. So yeah, so of course I didn't play Paul Morphy when I was younger, but I have a Morphy number 4. I have a Morphy number 5 since I played. Yeah, anybody who played me has a Morphy number 5, exactly. But yeah, there are very few people who have a Morphy number 3 who are still alive. There might be like 2 or 3 of them, and that's it. Okay, I'm gonna go f3 and build a chain of pawns here and castle the king out of the center of the board. So it's kind of cool to have a Morphy number 4. I mean, it's really quite cool. Hikaru out here handing out Morphy number 5. Nabokov has a Morphy of 3. Okay, but anyway, yeah, so the Morphy number is basically how many, it's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. So if you have Morphy number 1, you played Paul Morphy. If it's number 2, you played someone who played him. If you have number 3, it's one, you know, it keeps going like that. So yeah, so I have a Morphy number 4. Now I'm gonna take the rook in the corner and play like bishop b5 here. Actually no, I'll just go back, bring the bishop back, develop the bishop. I have an extra tower here, so now I want to trade off pieces here. Me and Magnus are both Morphy number 5. Yeah, I thought Hikaru was my age. He doesn't look in his 30s. You guys, what can I say? It's called Asian genes. What can I say? I've got this mix, you know, much like Magnus. I have my typical Scandinavian genes and my Japanese genes, so it's a good mix. Let's play rook d7. So put pressure on the knight on e7. So yeah. Oh, let's just take the pawn. It's not the only way to win, but I'm just gonna go rook d1, stack, win the knight, and end the game. Let's just take the knight with the rook. Hikaru viewers who have played in the view arenas are Morphy number 5. That's also true. Yeah, but yeah, I played Arthur Biscayr, and I also played Stuart Rubin. I played both of those guys when I was very young, very young. I played Biscayr. I think the last time I played Arthur Biscayr was when I was 10 years old, and I played Stuart Rubin when I was, I think, 10 or 11. That would have been Trinidad and Tobago. So let's go check here, hit the king. Federer has a Morphy number 6. Yes, Federer does have a Morphy number 6 because he played Tani, and I played Tani. You're absolutely right. So let's take this clean checkmate here on h7. I can sack the rook to get the checkmate. Yeah. So yes. Scandinavian, yeah, you guys, I've spoken about it before, but my mother, I mean, she's obviously like she's like European mixed, but my mom's father was, I believe, 100% Swedish. So yeah, my mom was my mom is of Swedish origins. Her father, I believe, was second generation in America. Her father and his relatives, they all fought for the US in World War II. So we're gonna play d5 c5, take some center here, and play knight c6. Yeah, like the family name, the family name I said before is Carlson, so I am a Carlson too. Let's play bishop g4. Just luckily my name is spelled correctly. Like, I believe my mom's father or his parents, the family name was Carlson with a K. It was Karlsson. It's a fun fact considering the chess comparison. Yeah, I'm gonna play e6 and bishop d6 and develop. Yeah, I'm Magnus's long lost brother. No, you guys. Now my opponent has double fianchettoed here, so I'm gonna go for the big cheese with h5 knight g4. No, Karlsson, the correct spelling of the name. So anyway, yes, basically all my relatives are like, they're like European until my mom married a Japanese guy, basically. And that's where the Japanese comes from. Basically before that it's all like white European. It's like German and Swedish primarily. Let's play rook g8 and put pressure on the bishop. I'll take and now I have an open G file here. G stuff, very good. What can I say? Okay, let's just castle here to the queen side. I'm going to stack the 2 towers on the G file, go for the double stack, and I want to move the bishop and checkmate him very soon. I never played Josh Waitzkin, you guys, but actually, speaking of Josh Waitzkin, I'll tell you guys a fun story. The first book that I really recall using, I mean, there are 2 books that really stand out in my mind. Let me find an image of the book. There are 2 books that really stand out in my mind, and one of them is the Bobby Fischer book with the puzzles where they have a picture. You know, the 2 books, let me find it. It's Bobby Fischer Teaches Chess. I'm just gonna find an image. Let's go rook g8, stack the two towers. Yeah, the first one is this one. I'll open the image in a new tab. The first one that I remember very clearly when I was really little was this book, Bobby Fischer Teaches Chess. It's just puzzles and tactics. I remember going through his cover to cover with a magnetic chess set, just setting up all the positions and then going through all the puzzles. That's the first book that I remember very clearly. The other book that I remember very clearly is this one, and this one's a little bit different. Let me change the scene. And this is the Josh Waitzkin's Attacking Chess, and I remember, I think it was 1997, very early. I played a Scholastic tournament at the Manhattan Chess Club in New York City. Unfortunately, the Manhattan Chess Club doesn't exist, but I won an event there. I think I went 4 out of 4, and the prize for winning the games was this book. And I remember going through this book cover to cover, and just to show you guys that I'm not insane, I remember this very clearly. There is a there is let me change the scene. There's a very specific opening game that goes with the Italian with e4 e5 knight 3 knight 6 bishop c4 bishop c knight f6 castles bishop c5 d3 d6 knight c3 castles bishop g5 g4 h3 bishop h5 knight d5 h6 knight f6 with the classic mirror on the wall with the knights on d5 and d4. So anyone who has that book obviously remembers that that specific, there's a game with that specific line. Let's go knight d4 and overload the knight on f4. Am I even human? I mean, there's probably a bootleg version of it. I don't really approve of bootleg stuff, but there's probably a bootleg PDF somewhere of that book which would show the game that I'm referring to. So anyway, queen d2, excellent move by my opponent. It stops the checkmate. Actually, I was gonna say I thought my opponent was lower rated. For 1900 play, the opening the way he's played is a little bit mediocre. Let's take. I'm gonna go f6, attack the knight, and then I'm gonna attack on the g file. How did you rhyme up an exact game from a book on page you read years ago? Because certain things stick in your mind. It's no different than Magnus Carlsen or any other top player. I'm gonna go here now. The g file is in play. There's certain things that stand out. They're just certain things that stand out. The audio should be completely fine. If there's a problem with the audio, it's probably on your end. Although that being said, you guys, that being said, I'm going to be honest. Right before I started stream, I did do the Windows update, and Windows update has an ability to destroy your computer because Microsoft doesn't know what they're doing, and they haven't for many years. I've checkmate in Dulce here with 92. But if there are issues, it could be due to the Windows update because anytime you do a Windows update, something can get messed up. But people are saying audio is fine. Let's play e4 here. Get e5 again. I'm now going to play the Scotch opening, or he plays knight f6. What did I play against? I think I just played the 4 knights when I was young to dodge anything, because basically the 4 knights is, he plays d5. Definitely a different move here. I guess I'll take and play knight e5. So yeah, Microsoft and Windows, like Windows used to be a great product. I'll say that Windows used to be great. I would say it was still kind of okay. Windows 7 I think is kind of the end. Windows 7 was good. After that I feel like it all went downhill. But yes, Windows 95 of course was the best. But those of us who were around in the old days remember that disaster that ME was. ME was kind of Windows 7 I think was the last version of Windows that was really like solid, right? I think Windows 7 was pretty solid, and since then it's just become trash. OGs remember Vista. Well, I'm so old that I remember Windows 95. Windows 95 was the bomb. I say the bomb, and now I actually sound like a boomer. But yeah, Windows XP was fine too. I mean, ME was the one that was a disaster. Windows ME was like a total disaster. Yeah, I say it was the bomb, and that's like something nobody's used that phrase since like the 1990s probably. Let's play queen d4. Yeah. Also, I'll give you guys another take that probably, like, hopefully none of the top players or their seconds are listening, but you know, one of the reasons it's very good to have trainers on your team who are actually very good with tech is because up until probably the last couple of years, my trainer and we used like Windows for the supercomputer. Not a supercomputer because it's obviously not truly a supercomputer, but we use like we use Windows. And actually if you use Linux and you do things the right way, Linux is significantly better, like the computing speed and everything else. With like really strong engines, it's much better. It runs much smoother. Everything is a lot more straightforward on Linux than it is on Windows. So I'm gonna go check here if king f8 I take and win the game, because I fork with f takes g7. King d7 I have bishop h3. Yeah. So yeah, Linux is much better. Linux is much better for running strong engines. And hopefully Magnus and his team or others aren't listening, but it's actually true. Like Linux is much better, but of course you actually have to know what you're doing to set up Linux, because Linux is not you can't just click everywhere. You don't have apps. You actually have to know how to you have to know how to how to use prompts and everything else. Ubuntu is nice now. Okay. Now in the French, when I was young, I played the advanced French a lot. I think it's a pretty good setup. You just build a chain of pawns. Yeah, I'm actually being highly like gamerish and techie-ish this morning, which is very rare. I'm usually not like that. Why don't I use Apple products? Because I just don't, you guys. Not a fan of it. He goes f6 here. Very good move from a 500, but also very bad. I'm gonna show you guys, this is why I don't like the French, because I'm gonna destroy him. I'm actually just gonna crush him out of the opening here. And I'll show you guys, this is why like you don't do this. I don't have an iPhone. I have a Galaxy. Yeah. Now I go queen h5, pin the knight. A lot of pressure on the h file here. Yeah, no, but the reason I don't do it is because I grew up using PCs, and it's like let me find you know, it's like a good example. I'll find an image. You know, I'm so old that I remember using chess-based. I'm trying to find an image of like one of the really old chess-based versions. Yeah, like let me see if I can find an image. Trying to find an image. I can't find it. Anyway, let's go bishop d3. But I've always used a PC, but like this is an example. Like if I open this let me open this image, open image in new tab. There we go. Like this is another example, like just to show you guys. Like I remember I can make this bigger, but how do you zoom in? I'll just zoom in and zoom back out. But like this is a perfect example, you guys. Like let me change the scene. Like you see this is chess base. Like I remember using chess base. This was a basic function of chess base, and this is what you would use on computers in the old days. Like this is what you would use. Like this is chess base. This is a notation tab here, and that's it. And then you have the notation here. You have this little stuff below, and that this was like really advanced back in the days. This was like the early 90s. Early 90s. So okay, let me zoom it back out. There we go. All right, where are we? Here we are. He plays f5. I'm gonna go bishop g5 and pin the knight here. So yeah, bro pulled up chess base. That's how old. That's like, yeah, not much changed. Yeah, yeah. Actually, one of these days when I go back to New York at some point, I'll show you guys my collection, because I'll show you my collection of my databases that I had saved on floppy drives. Yeah, like I actually, back in New York, back in the early days, my databases, I had them saved on floppy. I had them saved on floppy drives, and then I think the reason I did that is because, of course, there was no cloud, or there was no way to do anything over the internet, or if there was, I didn't know how to do it at the time. So what is a floppy drive? Yeah, or sorry, floppy disk. Sorry, floppy disk, not floppy drive. Sorry. Yeah, floppy disk. Sorry, I'm confusing my words now. I'm thinking of Google Drive. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, sorry, so like I have floppy disk, and it's like I literally had a portable floppy floppy disk, like whatever you call it. You plug it in with USB, I think. So I would basically take my floppy disks along with the portable, and I would plug it into my my laptop. Yeah. Yes, the old days. There probably are good. It wasn't a USB. It was what was it? You plug it in. Ports didn't exist. It was what did you plug it in with? Was it a dongle? Was it like the VGA dongle, or was it something like that? Or I think it might have been a dongle or something. I'm not sure. I don't know the technical term for what you call those things, but let's go check and take. No, it's like serial or VGA. Yeah, serial or VGA. Yeah, serial port. Okay. Yeah, it's like the 13-pin connector. But anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, let's just take. But anyway, yes, back in the old days, that's what you would do. Yes. So I'm gonna play h4, h5, h6, and just attack. A VGA is for monitors, but what I know about VGA is like you have the blue plug-in thingy. I mean, maybe there are different terms for it, but the blue plugin things existed, because also back in the old days, this is another thing people probably don't remember, but or almost nobody remembers, but basically there's a very strong female player. Her name is Alexandra Kostyuk, and her father actually he created like one of the very earliest versions of like basically essentially what I call like a tactics trainer, or like basically for end games, and that was on one of those like dongle things. It was like probably around like 1996, but you would plug it in, the blue thingy that you plug in, whatever it is. So it was an LPT port. Okay, so I'm gonna play h6 h7 h8 here. Let's go h7, play h8. Oh, let's just take the knight here and then checkmate in 2 or 1, depending what he does. This is not a speedrun. We're just doing a classic view arena, and I'm waxing nostalgic right now. Anyone else watching the stream and know nothing about chess? Many people watch my stream and they don't understand anything about chess. Many people. I'm glad that I can make chess interesting, because it is fundamentally a very boring game. I had a Sony Walkman. Yes, I had a Sony Walkman. I probably have a broken one also back in New York somewhere. It probably doesn't work, but I had one. Yeah, I had one. Yeah. Also, you know what else? You know what else? I had in the really early days before the iPad was like, it's like you have you have like a circular thing where you put a CD inside. It's very similar to a Walkman, but I don't know what you call it. I'll play D5 and Bishop F5 here. I also had one of those, whatever you call it. Was that a basic MP3 player? I had one of these where it was like a basic, it's like you pop a CD in. Let's go C5, like a Discman. I mean, it all blends together. It all blends together. It's like, yeah, it all blends together. Is it just a portable CD player? Okay, but it's all very, very old stuff. It's portable. That's what it was. Yeah, let's go knight C6 here. Do I have a CD player in my car? I don't think there's a slot to put a CD in. I mean, when I was younger, that was the big thing. You'd always bring your CD for the long drives across the country. Yeah. If we get C3 here, I'm going to play bishop to D6 trade-off as good bishop for this rather dubious bishop, because now my bishop is good, his bishop is staring at an empty diag, so his bishop is good, so I want to trade off his good bishop for my bad bishop here. Yeah. Imagine after trying for months you finally get to play against Hikaru and then he casually destroys you while talking about 1990s technology. Fake. You know, I mean, I am kind of good at chess, so it's like, I mean, I am like number 2 in the world, so that is something. Discman skipped. Yes, the skipping was you're right, Discmans would skip all the time. That's true. They would. Yeah. Okay, I played Queen E6 to stop knight E5 here. Did I rent movies from Blockbuster? Oh, absolutely. In fact, when I was last in White Plains, New York, about maybe a month and a half ago, maybe a little bit more now, right before Norway Chess, I went by where I spent the first couple of years in White Plains. My stepfather and I were there. We drove around and we went by where the old Blockbuster used to be, where we'd go and rent our movies on Friday night. So yeah, it was highly nostalgic. So yes, we would. Yeah. Is that on Central Avenue? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, you guys. It is on Central Avenue. That is correct. I'm impressed that you know that, actually, Ethan H. That's that. Do you like live there or something? How do you know that, actually? I'm gonna play B5 and just sack upon an attack here. You're from White Plains? Yeah. So basically, where I grew up, the first, like, I can say this because I don't live there. I mean, that's not where I am. But I grew up in this apartment building. It was like 505 Central Avenue. That's where it was. I mean, it was 505 Central Avenue. That's where I spent the first about like 3 to 4 years of my life, not of my actual life, but once my mom remarried and I grew up in White Plains. Yeah, it was 505 Central Avenue, and then you would go down to across the shopping mall, and there was the Blockbuster, and there also was the first place I ever had a meal in White Plains, which was the classic Friendly's. I don't know if Friendly's still exists. Probably it doesn't, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was 505 Central Avenue. That's where I that's where the first couple of years were. Okay, goes Queen A6 now. I'm gonna play Rook B6 and stack the rooks and attack on the B file. So waiting for a move from my opponent here. And keep going. Why do you just wait even if you know the move you want to play? Because I'm talking at the same time. I don't know if you know that, but I'm not an AI, I'm not a bot, so I can't just like, I can't do 20 things at the same time. Like, I'm gonna take and make a check or take right away. Take, maybe rook c8. I sacked a horse because his king is very weak here on the queen side. He doesn't really have a lot of protection around the king. I'm gonna play something very simple, which is queen d8. The knight guards the pawn. I just want to go rook c8. Oh, but actually he has knight c5, which I missed. But I can still go queen a5, I guess, and keep it going. Let's go here, maybe queen a3, maybe bishop f5, maybe rook b8 back. The king is very, very weak on c1. But yeah, so I do remember all those things actually quite well. Quite well. Anyway, we have the bullet brawl coming up in about 1 hour. 1 hour or so. No, I was homeschooled after elementary school. I went to elementary school at Ridgeway, which was kind of different side of town. I'll play bishop f5 here, hit the queen. I can take, I can go queen a3 and go from there. This stream is AI generated. You know, one day that's going to be a real thing, you know. One day that's going to be a real thing. Which is kind of scary. It's kind of scary to think one day that'll actually be a real thing. Okay, now what I'm going to do is play queen a3 and rook b2 to win the queen if he blocks. Moves the queen up. I have a check on b1 and b2. The bullet brawl will be at 1 o'clock, so I'm probably going to go back to the Botez Gambit speedrun soon. I'm going to take the pawn. I'm not going to take the queen. I could, but I'm just going to go for checkmate with queen b2 or rook b1. I mean, I guess I have to take for checkmate. Not much else I can really do. Is homeschooling an American thing? Well, the reason that I was homeschooled, for anyone who's wondering, is because at that time I was already master level at the end of 4th grade when I was 9 to 10 years old. And I'm going to play the Hikaru Khan here. And the reason for that is because at the time there were almost no tournaments in the United States to make norms. So at nowadays you have many opportunities of tournaments. Like there were tournaments in Chicago, there are tournaments in New York, there are tournaments in Charlotte, tournaments in St. Louis, and a lot of different places. But when I was young and growing up, those tournaments simply did not exist. There were very few, if any, norm tournaments that existed. So I had to play tournaments in Europe. And I mean, if you're going to school, you can't travel. You get maybe 2 weeks excused absences during the entire school year of about 9 months. So it was just not feasible. Yeah, it was not feasible. So was I a celebrity in your younger years of school? I kind of was, actually. I think I showed it on stream before, me when I streamed from my parents' place in White Plains. But in the room where I grew up in White Plains, there is actually a banner where basically it's signed by a bunch of kids from my class when I broke the record to become the youngest master. So basically I do have like this banner that says, like, it's typed out in one of those like really ridiculous 1990s fonts, like from a Mac, that says like, "Congratulations, Hikaru," but a bunch of people like wrote things on it. So I do still have that. So yeah, let's take let's play knight 6. Anyways, yeah, that I do have it. Daniel's biggest fan ever says, yeah, he's talking about nostalgia, and nostalgia is fake. You embellish the past while your present is much better. Example, Hikaru, when he was 10, he was a nobody, but now he is a god. It's funny you should say that, you guys. Funny you should say that, because I mean, on the one hand, yes, you're kind of right, but on the other hand, I don't actually think that's true. I don't think that's true, because back when we were young, we had to actually use our brains. Like, I was thinking to myself, like, lately it's hard for me to do anything if I'm not at my computer. And when I was young, I swear, like, there were a million different things I could do. And now all I do is like sit at my computer all day long. And I'm saying even when I'm not streaming, it's like I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And when I was younger, there were a million things. You go outside, you do all kinds of different things, and now like everyone's brainless. The Matrix has taken over. Okay, let's take the pawn on c3 here. I can take the pawn on f3. I can take on c5, go knight b4 here. Let's take the pawn on f3, hit the rook in the corner, go queen e3 and take. Yeah, like I remember going to the library too. Let's go queen e3 check, hit the king and the rook, classic right triangle. Yeah, I'm making a joke, obviously. I'm making a joke. I mean, where is Agent Smith? Although actually Hugo Weaving is a freaking amazing actor, I will say that. Let's take and play queen g5. Has he been in anything lately? I feel like Hugo Weaving hasn't been in anything. Go check. I'll play knight d4 check, hit the king and the bishop. What is a library? A library is a building where you go, you get actual physical books and you rent them. That's what an actual actual book is. Now I take, he takes, I take, and it's mate in 1. My opponent didn't play this game particularly well. The biggest issue was he played f3, which is a big mistake in the opening. Don't want to play f3. I'm very cautious when people want to play fantasy. And then he played knight h3, which also was a very bad move. Let's play e4. Do I think I'm going to win the BCC? I don't know. I've said before that I think I'm still, if I'm playing well, I think I am the best bullet player. But there are two things that are the problem. First of all, the format is game, and the format is 30 minutes. It's not longer formats. Whereas I think last round I played the formats were a little bit longer. That's the first thing. So the format is dangerous. Secondly, I don't always get off to a good start. And with a 30 minute format, if I get off to a bad start, it's going to be very difficult to win a match. So I mean, I think I have chances to win, but I find it, I mean, if I'm just being totally honest, since I'm a streamer and none of this actually is important, I would say that my general feel towards the bullet brawl is that if I can stay hot every day, I think I'm going to win the event. But if I'm not hot and I have like 1 or 2 bad days, I don't think I'm going to win, because with a 30-minute format, I think I'm just going to, I'm going to get too far down at the start and I'm not going to win. So it's very hard to judge. Very hard to judge. Now, I don't like what my opponent is doing because he's lacking development on the king side, and these pawns really take away a lot of space very early in the game. Let's just take, and my development is very easy. See, I can just move everything since I've taken so much space in the center with the pawns. Bishops come out, knights come out, I castle the king. In fact, I'm actually going to just develop. I could go for something else to cheese, but I won't. I'll play bishop c4. He plays e5, but see, the problem is because he's giving me too much space here, he's just gonna end up down a pawn, and it's just not enough space. I'm playing the bullet brawl, but that starts at 1 o'clock, so that starts in about an hour and a half from now. If you don't learn chess here, you will at least learn about the 1990s. That's true, you will learn about the 1990s, exactly. Yeah, chess is dying. Chess is not dying. No, it's definitely not dying. I mean, I guess the way I would say is, like, let's be clear, the viewership is down across the board in general, and I mean, even YouTube is down for everybody, so things are down, but the highs that we reached were not sustainable, and things are still in a much better place than they were like 3 years ago. So you have to put it all in perspective. And also, we'll probably get to 5,000 viewers once the bullet brawl starts as well, so I'm not concerned about any of that. As I've said, I mean, I think the actual retention from here versus Twitch is close to, like, I would say 80% of viewership, if you exclude Chess TV, are actually watching me on Kick now. So I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with it when I look at the when I look at what's happened so far. I'm going to castle, maybe play knight c3, knight d5. Goes g5. I will just take the pawn and take the knight next move. I could do a rapid speedrun, but rapid is going to be too slow. Any comment on the Twitter controversy surrounding Dina's chess shoot? Okay, why do I have a feeling that I don't want to look at this? Is she like naked or something? I have a feeling this is not what I want to really be spending my morning on, but let's take. Jesus, let's play knight c3, knight d5. Yeah, I mean, Jesus. Yeah, it is what it is. Everyone's got their own idea of how they're gonna succeed. And it is what it is, as the saying goes. Let's play knight d5 here. Yeah, look at that face. Yes. Yeah. All right, we get c6 here. Let's go e5 here. Stop acting all weird, chat. Stop acting all weird. Lizzie tweeted about it. Okay, let me find Lizzie. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not particularly amused. Let's leave it at that. It's all, but her tweets are all in Deutsch. right? No, I mean it all looks like it's in Deutsch. I don't see it. Okay, I'm just gonna take and win the bishop on e7 here. Oh, she tweeted. Did she tweet about it? I don't know. I don't see it, so whatever. Okay, let's just take and play rook e7 next move. Unless she has a different unless she has a different username. Maybe she has an official account. I don't know. I don't see it. Yeah. Just make checkmate. Let's keep going. No, actually it looks like her stuff is about something different, but I don't know. I'm not gonna spend it. I spent time looking at we're doing a view arena right now. Did I get new headphones? No, same ones. Okay, let's go Grand Prix. This is what I normally play. Yeah, I don't see it actually. Maybe it's like older than I'm missing it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see her reply. Let's play F4 and play a classic classic Grand Prix attack. Now both moves are playable, bishop c4 and bishop b5. I grew up playing bishop c4, but as I think I mentioned in 1997 or 98 I played Gawain Jones, and when I played Gawain Jones I started playing bishop b5 much more consistently. So I'll take and play e5. Oh, play 94. I thought it was hardly possible to even top the latest poll on women's chess. Unfortunately I was wrong. What a disgrace. Yikes. I thought what I saw was bad. I thought what I saw was bad, and then I saw that. I'm just gonna say, of course, like, yeah. I'm just gonna say, I thought what I saw was bad enough, and then I saw this. Yes. Good night, G5. Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, also though, I'll say this. You know what the thing is though. I think that at the end of the day, at the end of the day, also though, like when people do this stuff, like especially if you're not really if you're not like you haven't been doing this for many years, you're not on the inside or in the know, as we like to say. I think people just assume all interaction, like any kind of click, any kind of drama, any of that stuff is good, but it's not actually true. That's not actually true. And I think a lot of people, they just don't realize that if they haven't been in the space for a long time. I'm going to take and play h5 here. I'm just going to attack on the h file. Play queen h2 and queen h4 and queen h2. Yeah, all press isn't good press. Exactly, it's not. But anyway, yeah. By the way, thank you to Stan Marsh for the 3-month resub. Appreciate it. Sorry if I missed your resub earlier. Yeah, I'm trying to just mate him on the h file here. Yeah. So what do you mean so? Yeah. This guy's playing pretty well so far. The replies are hilarious. One guy said it's okay to be jealous, and you're probably jealous of being a half-naked bad chess player. Yeah. In knight d4, I think I can just take the pawn and go for mate on h7 here. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. Black has a fork, yes, but I checkmate the king. Yeah. The queen f6 holds. I'm wondering if this guy actually is 900 because he is defending this position incredibly well. Let's go check and play g7 here. I'm gonna play knight e6. I'm gonna sack a knight in order to win the queen here on g7. I'm gonna go d3, open up the scope, bring the last bishop into the game, and I should be winning. Yeah. Okay, let's go knight e6, check, and takes. You play this guy and they always play well. I don't know, maybe not. But see, here I don't have a bishop or a rook. I've used the queen. The queen has been doing very well. But now I'm going to go d3 and activate the bishop and castle the king. So let's go bishop h6, put pressure on the knight. I have queen h8 here. I can castle and play rook g1. Yeah. Just castle, go rook g1, win the knight, and I should win the game here. Bullet Brawl will be starting at 1 o'clock. Hikaru bobbing his head and keeping up with chat. Yeah, no, he's played a good game. Let's go rook g1. Yeah, I actually, you know what I think this guy is probably like around 1500. I think he's a little bit stronger than his rating, but he's not like out of this world stronger. He's probably like 1600. We get e4. Okay, this time I'm gonna play c6 and d5. Take. Okay, I will play knight 6. 4 o'clock is how many hours? No, it's at 1 o'clock Eastern, I believe. So it will be starting very, very soon. It'll be starting in about an hour. So I'm probably gonna do the speed run soon. Let's just go bishop g4. Play Sime Reina weekly bullet tournament starting in 10 minutes. Oh, is there a Sime Reina weekly bullet? Is Sime playing? No, he's not cheating. I think he's just stronger. He's like probably about like 500-600 points stronger. That's it. Yeah, I'm playing. This is educational. I'm trying to do educational stuff. So I've got my nice center pawns. I've got the knight and the bishop. Although I've gotten sidetracked completely by other topics again for the second day in a row during a viewer arena. Let's go knight e7 here. I'm going to castle next move and play bishop g6. Goes bishop e2. Let's just castle the king. Good center. Pawns consolidate. Bishop on a great diagonal here. Yeah. Just take the bishop here. Semi not playing. Hikaru first prize of 3,000 rupees. I don't know what 3,000 rupees is. 3,000 rupees to USD. How much is this? Oh, 36 bucks. That's a lot of money, isn't it? $36 is, that's for India, that's a lot of money, isn't it? No, I'm not trying to like be weird, but that is actually a lot of money, right? Go queen h4, pressure everywhere here. No, I'm not trolling. Like for like 1 hour, isn't that like, that's like for India for like an hour? No, I mean, maybe I'm crazy. I mean, go here and play c5 here. No, I mean, seriously, for India, isn't that a lot of money for an hour? For 1 hour, that's like a lot of money for India. For the US, no, but the US isn't India. I'm getting low rated players since I'm playing on my other account to try and be educational. Yeah, for India, that's massive. I mean, what is the hourly wage in India? I'm betting it's not more than $1. Like no joke. Like, I mean, I'm betting in India the hourly rate is like $1. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. No, because I know that when I played the tournament in India and I was at the hotel, it's like if you gave it, because there are a bunch of staff and everything, it's like if you give them like $10, they're really happy to get $10, and that's like the best hotel in the that's the best hotel. No, it's not an hourly wage. No, but the tournament's only like 1 hour, right? So effectively it's 36 bucks for 1 hour. You think India is bad? I didn't say India is bad. I mean, just because they don't make as money doesn't mean it's bad. Don't be weird. I'm aware of that. But yes, Iran is a dead country because you know, people don't rise up and do things. Like, what do you want? Okay, I guess here I will just play h6 and attack the bishop and then go knight f5 back. Yeah. Go knight f5 here. Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to say? Kind of hard to rise up, sure, I get that, but at the end of the day, that's what happens when you have a government that gives, you know, that's actually quite wealthy, oil rich, obviously, and then, you know, all the money goes towards garbage like terrorism groups. What do you expect? What do you expect when you waste your money on giving money to terrorism groups and supporting all the cronies at the top? What do you expect? So anyway, let's go a6 and attack the knight. Maybe if the money actually went to the people in that country, it'd be different, but you know, all the money goes to supporting Hezbollah. Let's play d4 here and attack the bishop on e3. Oops. Okay, let's take the bishop here. I guess I'll take the knight and play c4 c3. Hikaru just speaking facts and people starting drama. It's true. I mean, you can say the same thing about the US. I mean, you just look at the map. I said Hezbollah. Yeah. I mean, just look at the US. Can you imagine all the money that goes towards the military industry, the industrial military complex? I mean, just think about the money that we spent in Iraq. It's like somewhere in the range of $1 trillion. Can you imagine what we could have done with $1 trillion for like education in America, infrastructure in America? Like, I mean, with $1 trillion, I mean, like, seriously, can you imagine the things we could have done? Maybe our airports wouldn't be so garbage. Like, seriously. I mean, maybe our airports wouldn't be garbage. Maybe we could actually have healthcare even for the poor people in the middle of this country. Like, all these different things, education. I mean, all these different things. Play rook d5. Yeah, maybe bridges wouldn't collapse. Yeah. If we lived in a perfect world without wars, yes. Well, I mean, obviously, but I mean, we should never have gone to Iraq. I mean, I remember very clearly because I was homeschooled at the time. I remember very clearly when Colin Powell decided. I was watching it. I think I was watching it on Fox, actually. I remember when Colin Powell went before the UN to spew all that nonsense, and like I was like, this is total nonsense. Like, there's no reason. But you know, most of Congress, I mean, probably like 95% of Congress overwhelmingly voted to support it. So yeah, let's just take the pawns here on e3 and c3. I'm just going to take the pawn, play rook c1, c3, bishop d2 here. I'm going to escort this pawn down the board with the bishop and the rook here. How do I time out a mod? I'm asking for a friend. Yeah. So anyway, I would have voted for you. I mean, I'm just speaking facts. It's just a simple reality. Just take the pawn on g5 with the bishop and play like rook e1 and go c1 queen. Logic is so rare these days. Exactly. But anyway, yes, the pay of a teacher in Iran is around $150 a month. How crazy is that? I'm aware of that, but that's also because of course the Tuman inflation has gone up by like 50,000% in the last decade. So I am aware of that. Let's play d5, go bishop f5 and e6 and knight d7 here. Actually, no, let's trade the bishops and play e6 here and then knight d7. No legendary speedrun today. I might do the Botez Gambit after this. Let's play c5 and knight c6. No, but I could never get into politics, you guys, because the problem is I'm too realistic about things. I'm not far enough to either way. I'm not far enough left and I'm not far enough like off center like that, so I have no chance in politics, which is probably a good thing. Let's go check and play bishop a5 b6. Yeah. Okay, goes bishop d2. Now I think here I can play queen b6 and put pressure on the pawn on d4. We also have a right triangle. Yeah. Now he plays rook b1. I could take the pawn. I think I should actually. Let's see, I'm up a pawn here. If queen d2, I can just trade. Maybe play rook c8 at some point. I'd be a good tactical politician. Yeah, okay, whatever, you guys. Also, if I ever try to go into politics, someone would probably take any number of things I've said on stream and clip them out of context and use them in attack ads. So why would I ever want to deal with that? Not to mention, probably someone could take it and like feed it in, like, by the time I'd even want to go into politics, if I did, someone could probably feed it into an AI machine and literally like change the words that are said. Yeah, I mean, probably, you know, if we're talking like 10 years from now, if I ever wanted to, like, by that point, I'm betting, you know, you could probably feed it into some AI app, and it could just like literally change exactly what it said and make it look real. Go 93, check forking the king and the queen here. I'm gonna try. I think I have a forced checkmate with checkmate. Yeah, I go check and mate, check, and then checkmate on h5. Checkmate. Next game. I'm 800. I just beat it in 1500. That's awesome. That's great. Get e4. Okay, I'm gonna play Sicilian. This is probably gonna be the last game that we play in the arena. We get knight f3. I'm gonna play, I think, the dragon. I think dragon is one of the best openings that you can play at the beginner level in terms of Sicilians. Dragon or Najdorf. Well, Najdorf maybe is too much theory. I played the Scheveningen when I was younger with like e6. Like the clip Fabiano showed on C squared. What clip was there? Some AI clip that Fabiano showed? Go b5. I'm gonna put the bishop on b7 here, and then I'm gonna do the double fianchetto. Actually, I'm gonna go here because I'm anticipating d4, and I want to take and open up the c file here. So rook c8 is pure anticipation. I think the dragon is much better than the accelerated dragon. Are you conspiracy theorists? I don't know, you guys. I'm pretty sure Christopher Columbus told us the earth was not flat like a few hundred years ago. So I think from that alone you should be able to know. I think you should know where I stand. And also I think I think Buzz Aldrin is an American hero. So I think from that alone you can probably generally tell where I'm at. Let's play b4. Buzz Armstrong, or yeah, not Buzz Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, was it Michael Collins was the other one? Those guys are American heroes. So that I think says it all. Okay, we get e5. I'm gonna take the knight, take the pawn, and take the bishop on c2. Yeah, I think the name was Collins. I think it was Michael Collins, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, so it was. Yeah, all right. Buzz Lightyear. Yeah, let's take the bishop. I'm so old that I watched that in the movie theater. I'm so old that I watched the first Toy Story in the movie theater. What was that? 95? What year was Toy Story? Toy Story was 95. Yeah. I'm so old that I watched Toy Story in the movie theater. What a privilege. Yeah. Let's take the queen here. Yeah, I think also if I'm not mistaken, I think I also remember watching The Lion King in the movie theater too. And The Lion King was 93, right? When was Lion King? Lion King was 1994. Okay. Yeah, what's a lion? Yeah, so let's take the knight and go rook b8. Yeah. No, I remember the Lion King also because back home in White Plains, I have some cups. Like there's some promotion at Burger King for like some of these like small Lion King cups. So like I actually in White Plains I have some of these cups from Burger King. It's just the same as this right behind too. Like there was also a promotion in New York. Like there was a promotion at Burger King in 1995 as well. So like in 95 there's a promotion at Burger King. So like I got these like I'll jump out of the frame so it shows. Come on. So it's like you'll see there's this baseball with like Bernie Williams on it, and it's like it has some writing on the back too. If I get out, come on. So it has writing and like I have a bunch of these baseballs as well from 1995 from Burger King. Because there was a Burger King really close to where I was at the time. Let's play rook takes f2 and rook takes a2. Yeah, maybe it's because of the pineapple light in the background. Okay, Let's go knight e5 and go for the Arabian checkmate with knight f3 and rook h2. There's no microphone. Where? I know what you mean. No, the movies that I very clearly remember watching at the movie theater, there were 3 movies. There was The Lion King, what was the other one I just forgot? Toy Story and Titanic. Although Titanic was a little bit sketchy because that's like 90s. Titanic was 97, right? Yeah, Titanic was 97. I was only 10 years old, and there's some interesting scenes in that movie. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, let's see what we get here. Waiting for a move. Yeah, we get rook e8, knight takes f3, and rook takes h2. Should be checkmate. Let's keep going. We maybe have time for one more game. Play e4. Yeah. Yes. Anyway, let's go bishop c4 here. Go c3 and d4. Oh, when I leaned away from the microphone, you couldn't hear it. Okay, let's go d4. Take with the pawn. Big white center. Knight c3. These are unrated games. That's why. Just go bishop e3, consolidate my center. I just want to overprotect the pawn so I can capture with the queen on f3 here. Yeah, that was when little Hikaru realized life was more than chess. Let's go check. Now I'm hitting the bishop and the knight. It's a check, and now I can go d5 and take the knight on c6. Take with the pawn. No, I went with my mom actually to see it. I went with my mom. Neither of us actually had any idea there was yeah, there would be such stuff in the movie, but hey, it is what it is. Also, the movie was super long. That movie was like 3 hours or something. Like, it was so long. I guess I'll just play bishop e2. Yeah. No, you know what? You know the one movie that I saw in the theater that actually like really like gave me nightmares and made me like, you know, the one movie that I saw where I actually had to close my eyes when I saw it in the movie theater was The Sixth Sense. That was the one movie where like I had nightmares and like for quite a while after I saw that movie. That was the one movie I saw in the movie theater where like I closed my eyes multiple times during it, and like I had nightmares about that for quite a while afterwards. I'm gonna castle here and play like knight d4 next move. Yeah, go queen c2 and maybe c4 and e5 here. Yeah, that movie gave me nightmares for quite a while. Go bishop d3. My opponent's playing pretty well here. Let's take and go bishop c3 followed by c5. I'm just going to take more space in the center with the 2 bishops. This game's kind of awkward. It hasn't followed a normal trajectory. Gonna play f4, try to open up the diagonals here. I didn't take the knight back here. I didn't take the knight in this position because after I take, he has b5 forking the bishop and the queen, because a6 allows b5. That's why. That's the reason I didn't do it. Now I'm gonna actually sack with the rook and use D's bishops here to checkmate him. I saw the Matrix Reloaded in theater. I didn't see the Matrix itself in movie theaters. I'm gonna go here and try to get a lolly on h6 and g7. If I go queen h6, there is queen f8, I guess, to stop it, but he doesn't spot it. So I'm gonna go use the Russian. We're gonna come back. I think I will either play blitz, do the bow test gambit, bullet speed run, or I will do some puzzles. So I'll be back in 1 second.